Rogers is an autistic boy. He's 15 years old. He's been missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And everybody has been looking for him. Everybody. He is 5 foot 5 inches tall. He weighs 120 pounds. Sandy blonde hair, and he wears glasses. And again, there is no footprint of him whatsoever.
You think back, and there might have been a reason he was possibly upset, or something outside that could have enticed him to go outside. Was there anything that came to mind?
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. That morning he was laughing, he was joking. Everyone we were around that day agreed that he seemed like he was in a good mood. He was behaving.
This boy, I've done told y'all, reminds me of my son that had autism, that is my third son. And he disappeared right down the road from part of where my family lives. And I take all of these cases serious. I am not playing about anything right now.
The original thinking was that Sebastian Rogers left home on his own, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace now has authorities looking into the very real possibility of foul play.
I'm not trying to accuse them of anything. I'm trying to tell you how suspicious they are now becoming.
Everywhere you go, you can hear the laughter. Little kids playing, chasing after. Innocence shines bright like a built-in light. With their giggles and smiles, everything feels right. Oh, the joy of little children filling up the air. Their happiness, contagious, nothing can compare. Just watch them run and play, carefree and wild. Oh, the joy of little children. Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can't fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass, so don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright, she's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright, she's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am strolling up to see who is here, and I've already seen some people in here that I am happy to see. Hey, hey. We got beautiful Janice and Kiki and Millie. Millie, you got them snacks out? Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Yep, absolutely. Hello, hello. Hello. If y'all have not signed this one is Seth's. Please make sure that you sign this. He is working so hard on Sebastian's law. So there's the link to that. Hello, hello, hello. Not crazy by crazy lady. Hello, hello, and welcome everybody. And Deanna, we have Deanna. I'm trying to go fast, and Raw Beanie and D White. Woo! Nicey Marie. Hello, hello. I put a smile on your face. Well, you know what? You put a smile on my face, honey. You put a smile on my face. Hello, Michelle Davis and Joanne Marie. Show Poodles. Hello, and there's that beautiful poodle. Barbara O'Neill. Hello, Barbara. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello. So nice to see you. Who else have we got here? Fuzzball Factory. Hello. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Deanna, put all the green hearts. Go Smiley. Green Eyes said, go Smiley. There you are, Green Eyes. I've been missing you. I've been missing you, Green Eyes. Let's see here. Who else have we got? Rana Smith. Hello, hello. Hello. Bring him home. Absolutely. He deserves to come home. He deserves to come home. Absolutely, he does. Please bring him home. Hello, Butterflies Are Free to Fly and C. Taylor, Stacy Michelle, a laugh a day. Oh my goodness, I love seeing all of y'all. Holly, hello, Susan. My goodness, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all being here so much tonight. Thank you, thank you. Robin's here. Everybody's here. Everybody. Love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome in. I am so happy you're here. Thank you for being here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about Sebastian tonight. Because we have not forgot about Sebastian. I have not forgot about Sebastian. We're just doing a few things a little different. Sometimes we're breaking off, just doing a little things different. And that's about it. But ain't nobody forgot about Sebastian, honey. Nobody said nobody's forgetting about Sebastian. So I know I might be a little bit behind. We might listen to a little bit of Seth tonight. We might, I don't know. We'll see. Hello, SL. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So what have y'all been up to today? No, we'll never forget Sebastian, will we, Millie? Never will, never will, never can, never will. Have y'all had a good day? I hope everybody's had a good day. So I got a copy of a letter from Tennessee Safety and Homeland Security today. Hey, Nana. Hello, girl. What you doing? You are a night owl, Nana. So good to see you. I did not, Nana, but I'll have to check it and see. Did you just send it recently? I hadn't checked it in a couple hours. I will definitely check it for you, Nana. I love you, and I hope you're doing good. I sure will. But I hope everybody's doing good and everybody's fine. But so I've been writing these letters out and everything. I did send a copy of it to Seth. I'm not going to put a copy up here because it has, I could have retracted it, but I forgot to do all that and put it in my email. So it has all my full name and address and all that stuff on it. But it was just letting me know that they also forwarded this to David Rouch, which I've sent him mail to. But it says my name, and then they have forwarded the letter to David Rouch, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, TBI of Nashville, and the TBI is the investigative agency for the state of Tennessee. However, I must inform you that the TBI can only open a case within a request from the local district attorney. I wrote him too, don't y'all worry. And it says, we are all very aware of Sebastian Rogers' case, and our Tennessee Highway Patrol troopers have also assisted in searches conducted. We all pray for a successful recovery of Sebastian. Sincerely, Jeff Long. And then it was care copied to Director David Rouch. I guess that's how you say his name. But I sent a copy of that whole letter to Seth. So hey, Jill. So I wanted to let y'all know what happened to you, Nana. Are you okay? I will check it. I will check it. Have you been in the hospital again? We send you many prayers. But I'll check it. It could have went in spam. I don't know. Hey, little orange man. I will check it though, and I'll write you back when I get off of this live. Took another fall, broke both arms. Oh my gosh, Nana. Rotor cuff tear. Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Sending a lot of prayers for you and your healing. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. Oh no, yeah, I will write you back. I will write you when I get off of here. I am so sorry. Please be careful. Please take care of yourself. Oh, that is not good. Hey, Frank. Good to see you, Frank. Hello, hello. My phone locked on me. I keep saying I'm going to take this stupid password off. I really am. But we're going to talk about Sebastian a little bit tonight. He's still missing, and it just gets more heartbreaking than ever. Superwoman, I don't know about that, Frank. I don't think you're talking to me. Joanne, hello. Yep, prayers for a speedy recovery for Nana. Yep, absolutely. But Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers has been missing since February 25th, 2024. He was just 15 years old at the time. Hey, little Redo. 5'5", and he was approximately 120 pounds at that time. He wore black framed glasses. They said no shoes and no coat. And it was said he was wearing all black. But here's the question that won't stop bothering me. It won't stop echoing in my head, in my ears. How does his mother know what he had on if she never went into the room? I did ask her directly when I had him way back when on my panel. Of course, way back when, it was a lot of changing and a lot of confusion with the clothes. But I did ask her, did you go into his room before you went to bed? Did you turn on the light? Because I know about that light business. Let me just put it that way. And she said no. Of course, she tried to twist it on her son, her own son, that question. She said no, but she added some stuff nobody even asked her about. And she tried to reason about why she didn't. And she made it, I guess, kind of vulgar, if you want to say that politely, rather than just answer. She just didn't answer me. Hey, piano girl, hello. But think about it. Even if she saw him briefly in the hallway or the bathroom, or she was in the kitchen, or he went in the kitchen to get a snack, the ones he don't get at night or he gets in trouble for, while she was on that long phone call with Chris, allegedly. And let's say he did have on all black. So it keeps bothering me. How do we know that he didn't change after that? How do we know that because you know how strict they were, especially Mr. Chris, how do we know that he didn't go in his room, change into something more comfortable because he has autism and he has sensory, and he didn't change into something else, but that he didn't fold his clothes very neatly, all black, if that's what he had on. Yeah, I'll say if, with a grain of salt. And fold them in his drawer really neat. If Sebastian had been taught or even trained to always clean up after himself, how can anyone say for sure what he went to bed in if Katie didn't go in and look or didn't flip the light on before she went to bed? Right, Christy? Exactly. Well, that was a big red flag. But the only reason anyone knows what he changed into, as far as that he changed into something else anyway, after Texas Roadhouse, after that little run, is because law enforcement supposedly has those clothes, which means, in my opinion, he made it home that night. So I'm sticking to my original. He made it home. But something didn't feel right after that, and now he's gone. I tell you what, something still don't feel right. And it still don't feel right that the fact that anyone could ever believe that Sebastian Rogers ran away. Like at first his mom and his stepdad wanted you to believe. Law enforcement initially said he did and categorized Sebastian as a runaway, I think for a few key reasons. But many of them have been heavily questioned by the public, advocates following this case. And here's some of the reasons why. No, it don't feel right at all, does it, Holly? Well, they initially thought he ran away because there was, one, no signs of any forced entry, no struggle. Authorities may have assumed, which you can't assume anything in this case. I don't care who you are. But authorities may have assumed that since there were no immediate signs of break-in or violent disturbance at the home, that Sebastian did leave willingly. Another reason, because there was a reported history, again, of him being autistic, and he had sensory challenges, but some reports noted, even though he was autistic, you got to remember, he was not an eloper and he was not a runner. But at the time, did law enforcement, know that or put it together, or were they just trying to put the pieces together? But they just assumed he was a runaway. They interpreted his potential need for a routine and sensitivity to emotions, or being overwhelmed, or maybe he voluntarily left the house, something like that. But the biggest reason, the last, in my opinion, but not least, of course, was his mother, Katie Lynn Proudfoot. She made them believe that. Her and Chris, even if it was on that phone call. The mother's initial statement was, his mother claimed she discovered him missing early in the morning and suggested he may have left on his own in the middle of the night with no coat, no shoes, despite freezing temperatures. The narrative seemed to be accepted early on by LE without further immediate challenge. I mean, he had more than anybody, Sebastian, looking for him. Don't get me wrong. That's every parent with a missing child's wish, is to have that many people looking for them. Drones, helicopters, military, marshals, everybody coming in horseback, not draining ponds, everything. But Sebastian was not an eloper, and they just kind of took what Katie said and chalked it up as he ran away. With no doorbell camera and no footage, confirmed sightings, or anything of any abduction, they may have just kind of fell back on the least complicated explanation, that he simply walked away. Well, that simply just is not true. That donkey does not fly. That donkey does not fly with me. Because if there was no sightings of him walking away, and there was no cameras, there was no videos or anything of him walking away. Yeah, and I don't know why he walked out that door either. Then tell me, how is it that somebody also come to get him, to kidnap him? I don't understand. In many teen cases, if a child is close to 16 years old, they're often presumed to be a runaway, unless it's solid evidence otherwise. And this is a deeply flawed system right there. That's one of the problems. Honey, Smiley don't fall asleep on this station. I'm just saying. This ain't one Smiley falls asleep on. Smiley's here. But logic showed responses in many other missing cases too. Not only does that need to stop for every child, period, you need to understand even runaways need to be found. It's the law's job to find the runaways. And it's also their job when they find runaways, and I'm not talking about Sebastian, is to see why that child ran in the first place and what were they running from. So this just marking this off as a runaway and simply just not having no, what do you call it? Having no, just staying silent about it. That don't work. It don't work, and it needs to change everywhere. Hey, Beth, Ann, and Christy, and everybody coming in. To even begin with, they never, and I mean they as in LE, shouldn't have even assumed he was a runaway, especially barefoot and no coat right at the end of February. Only a complete idiot would even think a child walked out and ran away in the middle of the night in February in Tennessee with no shoes and no coat, and especially if they've been told they are autistic with sensory problems. That's very alarming to me, and it's disturbing, and there's no other way to look at it. I'm sorry. Sorry. There's no history of Sebastian running away. He was never described by someone as not being where he didn't mind. He was very well-mannered. He was not reckless. He was not rebellious. He didn't have all these friends he hung around with. None of that. He was autistic, but he never, ever eloped and was never a runner. Labeling him was a runaway delayed Amber Alerts, delayed the urgency to national media exposure, and limited resources. Yeah, even Katie said he's not a runner. That's right, Robini. The most vital window of a missing person is the 24 to 48 hours. And even all that got screwed up. Then there were contradictions from Chris and Katie. Huge red flags. All in the family story. The early acceptance of the runaway theory ignored. Of course, that was a red flag. We just got finished talking about that. Contradictions and strange behaviors from those adults in the homes. I mean, if you don't find their behavior strange, well, okay. Okay. And even after he got missing, and they come on YouTube and social media, the mocking, the laughing, the game playing, all the things. Strange. Why? Why didn't his mother, why didn't Katie Proudfoot simply call 911? It's that simple. That simple. If your child is missing, you pick up the phone and you dial 911. Why did she not do that? Why was the runaway label so quickly assigned to Sebastian Rogers? And who did it to protect? Who was it to protect? Because from the outside looking in, Sebastian didn't run away. He vanished. Poof, he was gone. And I done told y'all, as far as I knew, it wasn't no resurrection. It wasn't no ET. It wasn't no nothing like that. It wasn't the rapture. He vanished.
And so most of the time, most of the precious time, the attention has been lost. And it's not been given, in my opinion. Now, my opinion from what I've seen and my research, and there's people who agree, there's people who disagree, it's fine. We're all adults. But Seth Rogers has an airtight alibi. What is an airtight alibi? Airtight alibi means law enforcement has verified that Seth Rogers was at a specific, or any person, was at a specific place at a specific time and could not have been involved in the disappearance physically or logically or anything. It would typically be backed by surveillance footage, witnesses, timestamp transactions, phone records, location data, and all the things. Well, guess what? We know Seth was at work at the sheriff's office in Davidson County. We know, we saw the time card. We finally got to see his time card. We got to see the time stamps on them. We know there was witnesses. We know there was videos. I'm getting there, Joanne. Yet police has not cleared anyone. They're too busy worrying about if they clear somebody, who's going to get their feelings hurt? Who or will get bent out of shape? Maybe they're worried about who will stop supporting them. I don't know. I'm just saying. And because of it, Seth is clear, but they won't come out and say it, they're putting a lot more heartache on him, period. And he's got enough on him. It raises critical questions, and make no bones about it. Why was such early suspicion publicly aimed at Seth? Why? Who all did that come from? Why has there been so little pressure placed on others in or around the home that night? Everybody knows if you're the last person with anybody, husband, wife, child, brother, sister, you're looked at very closely with a fine-tooth comb and then some. Why isn't law enforcement more transparent about who actually saw Sebastian last and when? See, if Seth is cleared, that points right at the home. It points right back to Katie and right back to Chris. That's my opinion. If one parent has an airtight alibi, Sebastian is confirmed to have returned home, as many believed, based on the clothing evidence, then it only narrows down, and I'm talking about from the Texas Roadhouse, and what they're saying he had on, then it only narrows down the timeline and the access to just one side of the household. But come on. I know I didn't fall off the turnip truck last night. Did y'all? I don't know. I know I didn't. So questions are still here. Questions still arise. And who exactly was at home that night? Well, let's see. Let's see who made the 911 call. Let's just go here. Who made the 911 call? It wasn't Katie. It wasn't his mother. Who controlled the narrative? Who's still controlling it? Yep, we. CP all the way home. Why the runaway label? Who thought that up? Who thought Sebastian would run away? I don't believe they thought this through. If Seth has an airtight alibi, then who are we, they, whoever, who are they protecting? Oh, Stacy, she was so hysterical. Let me tell you how hysterical Katie was, honey. Katie was so hysterical that she did not bother to go out and knock on people's doors that had children and say, is my son here? Did he come to make a friend? She was so hysterical. She couldn't do nothing, honey. She jumped in that car and went flying. There's even time stamps. She couldn't get her shit together and say she was screaming for her son. Stacy, she was so hysterical. She had the damn windows rolled up. Let me just chalk that up to Stacy. And welcome, Stacy. Maybe she was so hysterical, she thought the windows was down and just screaming through the glass. I don't know. Yep, that's right, Gypsy. She couldn't even call the child's father. Couldn't even do that. Wasted time. Yeah, but she could drive. Oh, honey, she could drive. But we know when she got to the school and all that, she didn't even get out and look. She didn't yell there. Sebastian! What was the point in driving? It was all for show, in my opinion. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers did not run away. Simple as that. He vanished. And if one parent is clear, then it's time we start asking harder questions of the other. See, Ellie just hadn't come out and cleared nobody yet. Let's get real. Let's get crystal clear here. As of now, there's no public confirmation from law enforcement of any credible investigative sources that Chris Proudfoot, Sebastian's stepfather, has an airtight alibi. Not for the night of February 25th into 26, 2024, the night Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers disappeared. I see you, Nicey. So no official press conferences, no official press releases or statements have cleared him publicly. I hadn't seen his time card. I hadn't seen nobody coming out speaking on his behalf. No surveillance footage of him. No time-stamped activity or third-party confirmations have been released to the public to prove, PROVE, he wasn't involved or aware of anything. LE has never officially ruled him out either. Silence. Silence from law enforcement. Silence is not clearance. Oh, but they want you to think they've been cleared. None of them, none of the three have been cleared. But right now I'm talking about alibis. Where was Chris Proudfoot during those hours Sebastian disappeared? What was his timeline? I don't know, Jennifer. Cleared and vetted. That's what he said. Cleared and vetted. I bet he was vetted, all right. Why hasn't law enforcement addressed any of this directly? If anyone, everyone, anyone, in my opinion, should be cleared, and this is just my opinion, and I'm saying this because it only makes sense to me, that definitely should be Chris. The reason being is because if Chris is telling the truth, and he was 3.5 hours away, allegedly, and had not seen Sebastian since very early in February, remember? So if this is true, he should be cleared. And I wouldn't even have a problem if he was publicly cleared. But he's not. And until law enforcement releases direct evidence like video surveillance or phone tower records that conclusively pin Chris down somewhere else during those hours, his time remains at least partially unaccounted for, at least in that sense, in my eyes. He does not currently have what investigators call a rock-solid alibi. No bystander, no neighbor, nobody publicly has stepped in or stepped forward to confirm seeing him, right? Right, Stacy. Stacy said the writing is on the wall and anyone that can't see that is blind. I agree. I agree with you, Stacy. Yeah, even a time card. We saw Seth. Now, this is kind of tricky, but Katie Lynn Proudfoot, Sebastian's mother, her alibi. Well, maybe it don't appear to be so airtight after all. If you think about it, from the time Sebastian went missing, and that's one of the most troubling things there is, because she was supposed to be home alone with Sebastian, right? Which, because she was home alone, she should be number one suspect. But what we know about Katie is February 25th, 2024, him and Katie had a dinner at the Texas Roadhouse. He was with his mom, Katie. There's video everywhere. Then we saw him, basically, to break it down, getting into the car and going home. Now, here's what I want y'all to hear me loud and clear, because they haven't cleared to anybody publicly. This is what I want y'all to hear loud and clear, though. I don't want to get sidetracked. There was questions on whether Katie stopped at a store, at a gas station. There was questions on all of that. I've just recently found allegedly they went straight home. There was no stops at no stores, no gas stations, none of the above. The police, law enforcement, told a parent it took 9 minutes to get home with no stops. And don't forget, that video or video cam or whatever it was in the car. So again, I go back to my original. Sebastian made it home that night, in my opinion. And I could be totally wrong. law enforcement could also totally lie. Don't forget that part. So Katie said she talked to Chris, and she talked to him a long time, hours. And then, but according to when she got on to Nancy Grace, which wasn't that few and far between. I mean, it's like her memory just left her whole mind. It just, boop, here we go with another something added. She added that she even read a book. She had time to read. What are you reading? Whatever it was called, it was for studying for her classes. What? So she had, all the time in the world to do that. So she managed to read a book and study. She managed to talk to Chris. She said at first, and this has changed also, but she said she went to bed at 12 a.m. So, but she did that because Chris told her by phone, allegedly, you need to get up and go to bed. You're falling asleep. Which, again, that even changed. Hell, one time I've even heard it out there by their own mouths. It was 10 o'clock. What? That's a whole 2-hour difference. These are not made up. It's out there. Okay? Smiley ain't got time for these games. That right there, those two things right there should be 2 more red flags. Katie claims she didn't check on Sebastian, and she didn't go in his room, and she didn't flip on that light. Contrary to what came out at first, that light flipped on at midnight. Just saying. Well, between 12 and 6, Katie's whereabouts are really uncorroborated, right? I only say that because Miss Smiley, where was you at when this lawnmower was being stolen right in front of your house? I was asleep. Who was with you, Miss Smiley? Nobody. Was you speaking with anybody on the phone? Is there any way we can identify? Nope. I was asleep. Do you have ring doorbell? Nope. I was asleep. So really, we don't know where Katie was between 12 and 6. Her whereabouts are also uncorroborated. She claims she was asleep, but there was no witnesses. There was no security footage. After she hung up from Chris, was there phone records that we didn't know? I don't know. Not that Ellie's telling us. At least not on that phone. We know they had burner phones. And we don't know, right, Gypsy, where she was sleeping. Did she get up? Did she go in the bed? Did she put the dogs up? Because the only time, allegedly, she put the dogs up as if Chris was there. And allegedly, Chris, well, not allegedly, factually, that came out of his mouth. He told her to put the dogs up and go to bed. But there's no public records. Neighbors have not confirmed any movements during that 6-hour window time. So she says she wakes up, I could be off a little bit, but I think it was between 6 a.m. and 6:03, something like that. She wakes up to check on Sebastian, and she realizes, oh, he's missing. SL said, Bubba, did you fall out of bed? Yeah, she said that too. All the things. Yeah, the dogs sleep with her when Chris is gone. Isn't that something, Stacy? That even come out of his own mouth. Again, I don't mean to bore y'all, but I might drag out that interview again. I don't even know if I can tolerate it. I mean, doing it myself, but I think it's time to drag it back out again and let it be known. Let it be heard again. Because so many things we miss and we forget, right? Can't let y'all forget that. Can't let y'all forget some of the stuff that they have said. And I believe that's when they were most honest in their earlier interviews. To be honest with you, they thought YouTube was a joke. Period. Katie said she wakes up to check on Sebastian and realizes he's missing, but she calls Chris. Allegedly, Chris is 3.5 hours away. Why would she call Chris? Well, that one still has me beat. But anyway, Chris then contacts, nope, not 911. He contacts a regular number at Sumner County with her on mute on a three-way. Makes no sense. Is that not strange to y'all? Because it's strange to me. The strangest of all, again, is her allegedly, and this is just to me, going out to look for Sebastian, supposedly hysterical, yet there's a timestamp photo that shows her windows are rolled up, all the way up. What good is that doing? I think it was all for show. In my opinion, what makes her account of her alibi weak, to say the very least, is she admitted she never checked on him before bed. She didn't see him last. She can't confirm whether he even what he had on. That changed so many times it had all of us confused. There was no witnesses or account of any evidence that it supports her claim, not of him sleeping all night or otherwise. Just odd behavior, which odd don't make you a criminal, but very odd behavior when questioned about why she didn't go into Sebastian's room. Very odd behavior after he went missing. She's clammed up, very odd things. She gave evasive answers. She did not look for her son. I mean, that we know. She had a problem speaking his name. She had every opportunity in this world to go on the news and on not only YouTube, but Facebook, X, anywhere she wanted. Hell, she could have went on her own things and posted about Sebastian. Where's her son? But she didn't even do that. But when they went to the courthouse for what they were doing to Bullhorn Betty, well, however you feel about that, it don't matter. She, his mother, Katie Lynn Proudfoot, walked right past the reporters. Even Casey Anthony probably would have stopped in front of them to have a little chat. Megan Boswell broke her neck to do it. Remember? So, Katie does not have a confirmed airtight alibi in the most critical hours of Sebastian's disappearance. In fact, she places herself in a position that was not good either. She gave Chris a real good alibi. But where was she? You know, where was she at? Could she have been snuck out, went to the neighbors? I don't know. I really don't believe that, because I believe no matter what, they would have caught whoever on surveillance. I'm not going to try to have my cake, ice cream, and eat all of it too. I'm just not. I think she is the prime suspect, in my opinion. She was there with him last. She was the last one to see him, in my thoughts, in my opinions. But the dogs didn't bark. That's a red flag. Nobody could get their own, you know, words and stuff like that called their own words. They told me on my panel that if somebody would have come to the door and opened that door, not only would you have seen a shadow, but the video would have got it. I guess there's a video across the street or whatever, but it would have got it on video, and there would have been a shadow, and they would have saw it. That's their own words, not mine. They also said they would have heard if he went out the window. Well, if they would have heard he went out the window, they would have heard if somebody come in the window, right? And one door in the house, don't forget, made a lot of noise. And even through all of that, even if they put Sebastian out of that house, they, them, one, whoever, he knew the code to get back in the door. So that don't even make sense. There's many times Sebastian came home while his mom was at work, and Chris was not there, and he did not have a babysitter, and there was nobody there, and he got in that house. He did his chores. He did his homework. He did whatever it was, taking care of their animals, whatever it was he was supposed to do, he did. Nope, she didn't plead for help finding him at all. Absolutely not. And plus, how many times did he stay by himself? Come on now. There's a gap in this timeline, and it remains a major concern. Joanne says it can only be seen by the camera heading in one direction, apparently. Nicey said, but yet I had to accompany husband for work. Yeah, why did she tell Nancy Grace that? That was just stupid, if you want to ask me. She had to accompany her husband to work. I have never heard such a thing. I mean, really? Yeah, you gonna leave milk and cookies so the ants can eat them all up? And matter of fact, yeah, did you not put any shoes out? Maybe a warm coat? Oh my God, I am telling you what, these people. You don't look for something if you know where it's at. Yeah, why can't CP go to work by himself? Well, I don't know. That's something you would have to ask Katie, but I doubt she's ever going to answer anybody about anything about Sebastian again. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, you know, but it makes no sense. Why would you get on there and tell Nancy Grace that? That made you look more all the things. I'm just going to say that, because that's not what I really want to say. But I'm trying to be nice. There was another lie. Allegedly, he was already let go at that time. There's a lot of lies and rumors and everything out there. You know what? Hold on, y'all. I'm just now seeing something. Let's take the stage. Live comments from viewers will appear on screen during your stream. Keep the conversation going and make it. You know what? I did not even know that. Never mind. Y'all, I don't know if y'all like that or not. If you don't like it, tell me. I just now noticed that after all these years that I can click that button and your comments will be, somebody comment again something. Somebody comment again. I didn't even know that. Lord have mercy. There you go, Millie. Yeah. We'll leave that up for a bit. You might not like it. I see it on a lot of people's and I'm like, how do they do that? I like that. Here you go. Woo! Smiley learned something new. I was just reading that and I have seen it. Gosh, there's no telling how many times I've seen that and read that. And it just now registered to me what that meant. I'm like, what? Hey, that's a button Smiley can push. I learn something new every day. I learn something new every single day. Lord have mercy. I'm learning all the things, Millie. See, I'm having more time to learn all the things. That's what it is. And I'm liking it. I'm liking this revamping my station and all that. I'm not leaving Sebastian. I've not left his case at all. Well, I like that. That's pretty neat. Look at y'all. Look at y'all go. Go, people, go. I like that. I like that. So how many of you saw Seth's live the other night? Probably everybody, huh? Because I am about 2 days behind. Yeah, y'all might retire the don't touch the button emoji. You did? Everybody saw it in here? Hey, Barb. Hello, everybody. Stacy, everybody coming in. Yeah, it was heartbreaking. I'm going to play just a little bit of it. I know y'all have probably seen it. Let's give Seth credit, y'all all. I know you know, I hope you know where a station is. And go, sign up or sub up. Let's see. We'll play a little bit of it. It was heartbreaking. Definitely heartbreaking. Yeah,
Can you all hear me?
He does look worn out, don't he? Really worn out.
First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who just came in. I appreciate everyone. There's been there's echo.
I hate those echoes.
Okay, I think the echo is gone. I see everybody in here.
He sounded good.
No, the echo was on my end. I had too many windows open. It's been a minute since I've done a live, so just pretty much trying to remember everything I'm supposed to be doing. Do want you to know that there has been activity behind the scenes. We're, stuff coming in from at night. People wanting to sit there and do some pretty stupid shit, in my opinion. Threatening my son. Whether it's a host or not, it's just not right.
Sure not.
But it's kind of been really busy. Been really busy tracking down stuff. tracking down leads that are coming in, dealing with the FBI. I've been dealing with a lot of other law enforcement agency groups. It's a lot to be on your shoulders. You know, every day you wake up and it's like, I'm tired. I'm tired. But the whole point of it is that I don't know what's going on with my son. So I continue on. Whatever happens to happen. I just know I got to keep going until I find him. Don't like to tell people where some of these are coming from, but we've had people call into the tip line. Just got done dealing with one in Arizona. Been dealing with a couple in Virginia. You know,
That worries me, the Virginia.
life isn't what you think when your kid goes missing.
Whew. So he came on there. You see him. Everybody's been wanting to know where he's at. He's holding up the best he can, but I cannot imagine. That's right, Joanne. Give him strength to carry on. Where's his mom at? Where is his mom that gave birth to him, that carried him, all those things? Yeah, that's why I said that one worries me. Anytime they get a tip for there, it worries me. But they definitely should look there and everywhere. He's been busy doing Sebastian's law. I put that link out. I'll put it out again. If you have not signed it, that is the one you want to sign. He even asked later on from his own mouth if people could stop, cut the crap. He didn't say cut the crap, but he even says, you know, it hurts him and it hurts Sebastian when he's working on Sebastian's law so hard, and then you got other people doing the same thing. It takes away. Just like there was others. People don't know what to sign or what to do. And it's this one right here. Thank you for that. And I stopped this because he said nobody has a clue. Well, they don't. It's not like he has a lot of money as it is, but can y'all imagine? Every tip you have to chase down, everything you do takes money. Imagine every day in your regular life. Hey, I need you to go mail this. Well, that's $10 or $12. You know, that adds up. That's not counting your gas. I mean, does the man not deserve a Coke? Even Chris and Katie deserve a Coke. What the heck? But he's the one out looking. He's the one out fighting. He has that one, and then he has the one, Millie, about, yes, thank you. You're right. where he's working on Sebastian's law. But y'all just think, I mean, when you're in between paydays or you're at your worst, he has lost a lot. And he's still losing a lot, but he's not gave up on Sebastian. And he's not going to. That's his focus. That's what his focus is Sebastian. It's sad.
Try to keep a positive outlook. And every time I turn around, there's just people out there.
Yeah, Millie, thank you.
It's hard to find anything that's enjoyable while this is going on. But I keep myself busy between work, running down tips. Then they're trying to make sure, everything's going well. Then I get reports, of a couple other people, what they're doing. The fact that my son's own mother doesn't seem to care.
And that's got to be heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching.
What happened to him? The day that I find Sebastian and he actually sees this stuff that's gone over, I hope he understands that I'm doing everything I can. Doing everything I can to find him. Trying to do everything I can to make sure nobody forgets him, because I never will. People still, I need help. I need people to still please continue to hand out the flyers. That's the reason that we continue to get tips.
I don't.
Even if they don't pan out, I don't find my son. Still keeps the hope up. It really does. I mean, it's the only thing that I have right now is the hope that I find him. That's all I really care about. It's finding my son. It's just sometimes there's not enough time in the day to get everything done that's needed to be done. And sometimes there's too much time. It's never ending.
Thank you, Kiki.
You kind of start putting everything into perspective, and it's like taking my truck in for a service on an oil change, and I'm like, dang, supposed to get an oil change every 5,000 miles, and it's already been 5,000 miles, and another 5,000 miles, and another 5,000 miles, and the next thing you know, you've done put 20,000 miles on your vehicle, and you're like, didn't realize I'd been on the road that much.
Can you imagine driving so much to find your son that time just slips away and you don't even realize how many miles you're putting on your truck or your car or anything? You just don't know. He goes, and I know this, he follows every lead they get, everyone that he knows about. Anytime anybody tells him about anything, he drops what he's doing and he goes himself. There may be others, but he goes. Okay, he wants to check it out for himself. And he looks and he puts out flyers and he does all these things. And I just can't imagine. It's been 17 months, almost 17 months in a few days. I just cannot believe it. Anybody else, would be thinking about theirself, not him. Everybody else is counting his pockets and so worried about what he gets when he does go live. Screw that. I say screw that. It's wrong. This is a broken man right here, in my opinion. And it's sad. I bet anybody else would have took that GoFundMe money and ran out and bought them a truck. What do you say? He didn't. He just kept on. He's satisfied with what he's got. He don't care about things. He cares about his son. And it's very obvious. It's just obvious.
Didn't realize that
Thank you, Nicey.
tracking down tips takes so much. And it really, so besides the fact that that's my son, besides the fact that my profession has been affected by this, I just, there's not enough people in this world that have the job title in these law enforcement agencies that actually care about the children. I believe he said it well when he wrote that song, and said it when are these politicians going to start caring about minors other than minors on an island somewhere. My son is a minor. There's been so many missing children, and I have personal views on these stupid politics. It really affects me. Everybody's up in arms about ICE this, ICE that, but nobody wants to, state the fact that, they just rescued 8 children in Southern California. They rescued 8 children. Florida, they turned around and had an operation there, rescued children. Contacted Jacksonville, Florida to find out if my son was in that group. And the detective in Jacksonville, Florida was, you'll need to contact the detective in charge of the case to get any information. Like, this is my son. I'm just wanting to know if you found him. Obviously, Sumner County didn't contact me, but I'm pretty sure Sumner County didn't give a rat's ass about my son because that's what they've done. Jack and Lily in another country had 11 detectives on it. In this county, when my son goes missing, we're going to give you 1. Well, Mr. Brandon Carter, just remember, I have all the text messages that state that you were in court this day, or you're on vacation this day, and all that sort of stuff. And understand that anything you said to me is a lie. I don't trust you as much as I could throw you. And the thing is I wouldn't touch you. You get to go home to your kids. I'm at home. My kid isn't here.
That broke my heart.
But anyways, they still sleep good at night. But I've seen some of the stuff going around. I started this page so that I could keep everybody up to date with some of the stuff that I could let you know that was going on. I want you to know that I'm still tracking down every tip that comes in, either at night, my own PIs that have the tip line set up. Any of these tips that come in, I'm tracking down. I'm working behind the scenes. You know, I appreciate people wanting to start petitions, but a lot of the times I've already got the petition started, and just, you know, if you start another petition, it takes away from the people that are, it takes away from the petition that I. Up to date with some of the stuff that I could let you know that was going on
about petitions.
I want you to know that I'm still tracking down every tip that comes in, either at night.
So please
My
listen.
own PIs that have the tip line set up. I mean, any of these tips that come in, I'm tracking down. I'm working behind the scenes. You know, I appreciate people wanting to start petitions, but a lot of the times I've already got the petition started, and just, you know, if you start another petition, it takes away from the people that are, it takes away from the petition that I started. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. And I need everybody to be on the same.
He just said, and people don't understand that he needs people to be on the same page. He's being very polite and very nice. So here's what I'm saying. This is coming from Smiley. How about fuck off and quit messing Sebastian Rogers' case up? How about that? That would help if you would stop filling out these petitions and trying to get all these things so you will get recognized. How about that? Because that's not helping nobody. Nobody that's really in this cares about clicks, likes, views, or money. Listen to what his father is telling you. Can you not see the pain, the hurt? Just asking.
The same page. And finding Sebastian, I mean, I just do. I am working on Sebastian's law. I told you all I was working on that. I'm working on it. It's to be a federal law so that it oversees state law. So that way we can actually do something for our children. They're the ones that are going to be taking care of our country, our world, us. Without the children, there's nothing. There will be nothing. If we're not doing this stuff to take care of our children and to protect them from the evil that is out here, then evil's going to run rampant. And it's just not. It's not how it needs to go. We should be protecting our children at all costs. As somebody I listen to every once in a while, you know, for those that hurt children, wood chipper. Start with the ankles first, wood chipper.
Absolutely.
I'm angry, frustrated, I'm tired, and it's just, it never ends. And every time I turn on the news or anything of the sort, I just see that there's more and more missing children. Lord help me. They find them, it's the best thing in the world. For their parents, because I'm still waiting for mine to be found. It's hard to realize that it's been over a year. Won't be much longer, and Sebastian will turn 17. It's not like I took a week and a half and went with somebody else's child down to Florida to go visit Disney, you know. like some other parent that's not a parent did. I hope they're enjoying their ice cream right now. Just in case you think that I don't know what the fuck what you're doing, understand that I got people that let me know what you two are doing. My court's coming up. Are you both going to be there? Is your mama going to breastfeed you onto the court too? Because I'm over your BS. You're nasty. You're disgusting. You don't deserve to be around children. I mean, to tell me that you were going to kick my son out of your house and that maybe he was just going to prove you wrong on that he could live without being underneath your roof is some BS, dude. You should never have said that to my son. You have no right to my son. And I tell you what, the way it's going, Katie, you don't have a right to a child either. I don't know what happened to you. You were not the person I married. You're not even the person I divorced. But if your significant other that you decide to bring into your child's life can't deal with your children, they're not worth your time either. That goes for anybody. If you ever bring somebody else into your life when you have children, you better think about your children first because they're your children. They deserve everything. And your significant other that you're bringing in, unless they're going to sit there and take care of those children and treat them like their own and have understanding and know how to help them develop, it just does your children even worse. I still, like I said, need people to be handing out flyers and stuff. I need more tips coming in. I need more eyeballs looking for Sebastian. I don't know if any of y'all remember playing telephone when you were younger, but I'm going to share the picture again on my YouTube page. And if I ask people just to hand out 10 flyers. This time I'm going to ask people to take that picture that I put up there of Sebastian's latest. It's the link for this one right here for this.
Sorry, I was on mute. All he asked is that you please put out 10 flyers. You can share flyers. Hey, Annabella. You can share, love you too. You can share flyers. You can pass them out. You can, put his picture up. And if you don't have flyers, write something over the photo. Put his photo up and just put, call 1-800-TBI or call 615-45138. Or if you want to put 1-833, whatever you want to do, FBI, whoever, whatever. It's not going to hurt anybody to share Sebastian's photos and do that. It's just not. And that's what he asked. And he's going to tell you, if he didn't just say it, they need to be put up everywhere, in every state, everywhere. Not just in Tennessee. He's got Tennessee covered. He drives different places. He just goes just to pass out flyers and stuff. But if you want to help, that's what you can do. Like me, I got this letter back today. Continue to write to these people. You think they don't see it? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. But just think outside the box. Just don't step on his toes or Sebastian's toes with these petitions and these things he's working on. That's what hinders a case, in my opinion. But he's telling you what he wants you to do. He's telling you what he needs.
For the show. Sorry, my head is killing me. I mean, the storms today didn't help too much either. But take 10 people in your phone book and just send them the picture and ask them to spread it on to 10 more people. I just need more people to know that my son is missing. I need more people looking for him. I need more people to help me. You know, I see a lot of stuff. And a couple of the pages that I follow on YouTube, they're autistic people. Because they're the best people in the world. And I'll tell you right now, there's nothing like an autistic child. Their aspect on life, the view that they have is so distinctive for each person that if you listen to it and you listen to another autistic child, they'll never have the same point of view. They never have the same scope of the same thing. They're looking at the same picture, but they all see something different.
Right.
And just want my son home. I'd like to be able to do the things that we were doing. I'd like to have a routine again in my life. But there is no routine without my son. Because he is my life. But I know that there's some people out there that are working on, they're telling people that they're working on Sebastian's law. Well, I'm working on Sebastian's law. I've got attorneys working on it. I've got other people that have been observed it, have read it. You know, if Chris and Katie are watching this, I don't care. I don't care if they're watching. I hope they are watching. I hope they are enjoying the misery that they're putting me through. Because God is my witness, it will return sevenfold. I don't deserve this. Sebastian does not deserve this. And it will come back around. I'd say I'd love to be there for when karma smacks you in the face, both of you. But I don't care. I really don't. I just want my son. I want my son found, returned home to me so that he can continue on with his life, with how he's going to affect the world. You two don't deserve a child like Sebastian in your life. You guys don't deserve somebody else that's in your life right now. I feel so sorry for that female, that child. Pretty sure she wonders every day if she's gonna wake up and even be there, or ever even get to talk to her mom again.
Y'all know she has to worry.
You know, I know things on the inside of your house that you probably don't want me to know. But I tell you what, we all know that you didn't let a particular organization into your house for a reason. You already got rid of everything in his room, huh? Can't let, America's Most Wanted in the house. Not the last place he was supposedly at, right? But then again, there's no evidence he ever left the house. Is there evidence that he ever made it to the house from Texas Roadhouse? You guys have to live with it. I have to live with the fact of knowing that my son's not here where he should be. I have to live with the fact of knowing that I chose you to be his mother. And that's done nothing but bite me. Sebastian deserved a better mother than you did, Katie. And all you did was give him the same type of mother you had. I do apologize for everybody in chat. I don't have any links or anything like that. Please, let's not have any arguments or fightings or anything in chat. It does not do anything. It does not do any good to be arguing or fighting in my chat. Most of this is either my opinion or what I need people to do. Hey, if people want to be a Katie supporter or a Chris supporter in my chat, I don't care. Those people, they're not worth it. They're not worth the sweat off my back, let alone the being aggravated or anything at them. They're just here to cause chaos and trauma, just like Chris and Katie were doing to my son. Maybe you should say that looking in the mirror. That's fine. Any of the mods, you can just block them from my channel. Tell them to go somewhere else. They can go back to the hate channels.
When somebody wants to go on missing kids father,
I don't care about it.
Ugly.
I just know that Chris and Katie aren't helping finding Sebastian. I need Sebastian's army to be helping me find Sebastian. I can't take them to court regarding CPS because it has to go through Sumner County. It has to go through Sumner County because I can't even put the CPS reports into a court hearing because I can't. You know, at the very beginning, it would have been really nice if Chris and Katie would have been on the same page of finding Sebastian, because that's all I cared about. It's still all I care about. When I find Sebastian, do you think I'm going to have any contact or conversation with those two? No. There's no reason to. No, I can't release the CPS reports. CPS has already informed my attorney that if I release them, that they will file charges for me releasing them.
He can't do that. He's a minor. I wish people.
All it does is
him that.
If I were to release the CPS reports, I told you all, you guys wouldn't sleep either. It's releasing them won't do me any good. Releasing them won't do Sebastian any good. Just know that I've got other things besides the CPS reports that back stuff up. When I called them a psychopath on that court TV interview, I meant it. I meant it. the things that I have read, the things that I have observed, what I read in these reports, takes a lot for me not to be extremely mad. Yeah, call me Sean all you want. I don't care if y'all call me Sean. You're calling him, you're screaming somebody's name. You don't get it.
They think this is fun and game.
Told you all, take all the help I can to find my son.
He's very strong.
It doesn't matter. I will dance with the devil and show the devil a couple new moves to find my son, because he's all that matters to me. And I pray to God every day that he keeps him safe. I've listened to a lot of stuff come through, and it's pretty bad, in my opinion. The fact is that, it takes more than just me. It takes people in Sumner County to start saying no to the corruption. I mean, when I turned around and I asked both TBI and the FBI to change the pictures on the flyers, and TBI and FBI said, sure, we'll get right on that. Well, the FBI came through. And in 2 weeks, we had new pictures on these flyers. Unfortunately, the TBI hasn't done nothing because they won't do anything unless Sumner County agrees to it. And Sumner County is not agreeing to anything because they don't even track down the tips that they get. And I just don't understand how a community can see what's going on and not.
This is where y'all need to keep writing, keep asking. Somebody is bound to hear. The problem is, I saw today somewhere in a chat, I don't even remember where it was or who it was. Somebody said, well, everybody, it might have been in my comments, I don't even know. Somebody said, well, everybody's got an internal affairs. Well, guess what? Sumner County has their own internal affairs. So what in the hell's that good gonna do? You're gonna have to keep on. But yeah, I mean, try and try again. Don't say it won't do any good, because you never know who's going to see it. That's my thought. He's a broken man. We'll listen to just a little bit more of it.
The community can't do it, doesn't seem to want to do anything for themselves. Not just for Sebastian. I mean, Sebastian lives in that community and went missing in that community. And the law enforcement agency in that community is so corrupt. And yet, nobody's turning around and saying anything about it because the corruption is so thick. What happened to my relationship? Listen, will somebody just, you know what? There you go. Tired of the scene coming up, and up. if somebody sits there and tells you something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and you continue to believe it, but you're not seeing it, at some point in time, you have to call BS on what they're doing. I don't live in that county. Because I'll tell you right now, if I lived in that county, I would run against that douchebag. I don't like his policies. I don't like what he's doing. He doesn't need a raise. He needs to get himself out there and find my son.
Oh, yeah, Pretty Boy's
Do
trying to get
something.
a raise, y'all, in case you didn't know.
I sent them a letter. Maybe I'll put the letter up on. I literally put a letter to them, an email stating that if you hadn't done, and I listed several things, and it's not just on that side, it's on my side. If you haven't tracked these things down for every suspect, then you can't tell me you've done your job. And when I sent that letter to them, they stopped wanting to communicate with me. They want to stop communicating with me, that's fine. But when I'm getting only lies, like they called me in on my son's birthday. My son's birthday, you call me in and give me a line of BS. Okay? It's my son's birthday. I'm going to listen to you. I listen to what you got to say. But you can't tell me one thing and then do another. Because if that's what you're going to do, well, I'm not going to believe you. I'm not going to believe anything you say because your actions don't back up your words. It's not what you say, it's what you do that matters.
Absolutely.
My son matters. Missing children matter. Protecting children matter. And protecting our future by protecting the children matter. And if you can't do those things, you don't deserve to wear that badge that you just so proudly put on your chest and hide behind, Mr. Craddock.
Or ask for a raise. You have done nothing to earn.
That goes for anybody.
In my opinion.
I need to blow my nose. I'll be right back.
So,
There's been so many
I just moved it
problems
towards the
with
end towards a little
DCS
bit.
and CPSs at the state level because they're all state level. They're all state level, and that doesn't need to be just state level. They need to have overall communication from state to state. If a child goes missing in Tennessee, the Amber Alert should be for Tennessee and for the surrounding states. And then at the same point in time, there should be communication between every police department within that state. Within that state that states that, hey, this child is missing. When Sebastian went missing and I got a tip about somebody that was all dressed in black, walking barefoot down the road, and it was brought to me from somebody on Facebook. When I called up Lebanon, they had no idea that my son was missing. They did not know. There had already been an Amber Alert, which I didn't even get an Amber Alert on my phone for my own son. So when I called Lebanon, and they didn't know that my son was missing, that's a problem. That's a problem in the very, it's a problem in the communication of information. Law enforcement in one agency in one county should be communicating with another county. Sumner County, you don't like Davidson County, where I work, that's a problem. So you don't like them and they don't like you. My son's missing. He doesn't give a shit.
He's right about that, honey. They don't care.
You know, if I don't like my neighbor and his kid goes missing, I'm going to help him find his kid. Why? Because that's what neighbors
It's the
do.
right
That's
thing
what a
to do.
community does. They come together and find the problem and fix the problem. And if I scream until the end of my days and these problems don't get fixed, then I messed up somewhere. But I'm going to fight every minute, every second that I can to get stuff changed for the benefit of my son and for other missing children out there. I don't know where you are, son, but I'm not done looking. I'll never be done looking.
Mm.
There's no enjoyment in this life really anymore. All my enjoyment disappeared. And it's not fair to him. And I'm going to find him. I've already started a petition for the FBI. I've been in contact with Marsha Blackburn's office. I am attempting to, I've been asking for them to help set me up an appointment for the FBI. If I have to walk to DC for the appointment, I will. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'll walk to the ends of the earth to find my son. Anything that I can do to push it on to get him, because this shouldn't be going on. I appreciate everybody, Sebastian's army. I appreciate you all. We find Sebastian's going to have a lot of people to say thank you to. I have a lot of people to say thank you to, because I tell you what, some of y'all actually talk to me on a regular basis. Some of y'all in chat. I know I don't tell you all a lot, but there's some things when there's more bad than there is good, you kind of just keep the bad to yourself, because it doesn't do any good. But cognizance crime. Kyron, that's the lady. I can't remember from what state, but that's the lady that her son went missing from school, right? But that's the little boy that went missing from school when the stepmother dropped him off, right?
Karen Horman.
Yeah, I've seen some of her stuff. She won't stop looking. I give her nothing but from kudos, because you don't understand what it takes every day to get up and know that your only goal is to find your son. And then there's days that when I wake up, I don't hear from anybody. I hear from nobody. Nothing comes in. No information comes in. And it's so frustrating, because I know that somebody somewhere out there knows where my son is. I just got to find him. I just got to find Sebastian. He is the goal. He will always be the goal. When we find Sebastian, then the goal is to make sure that we help all the other children. A lot of people want to sit there and talk about, oh, you did a nonprofit. Yeah, well, you know what? My nonprofit was thought up a long time ago. My nonprofit was to be as like a facility of sorts to help autistic children by using animal therapy. Autistic children normally love animals. So you put them around animals and you get them to understand what the animal's feeling, and then you blossom the idea of helping the animals, and then the child will take that blossom and flower. My son was a perfect example. He loved watching things grow. He loved taking care of animals. I just wish that he was here so I could take care of him.
All right, it's about over, y'all. Uh-oh. It's about over, y'all. So y'all I just ended it there. It's heartbreaking enough. It really is. Drop his link again so people, if they don't know where to find his channel, that they can go find his channel and they can get any information. But you heard him. He's a broken man. He is working on Sebastian's law. He's working to try to get the FBI to take over. He's working on all these things. This breaks my heart. Again, where is his mother? You know, Seth, there's no words. There's no words that will ever be enough or be right for the kind of pain that you're carrying. But I want you to know that your grief matters. The love that you have for your son, it shines through so bright. We all know that here. We know that here. You know, I stand behind you. And I want you to know that your grief matters. Sebastian matters. You don't have to be okay. You don't have to be strong. Sometimes it's okay just to let go. At least for 5 minutes. You just have to breathe one moment at a time. When your heart feels too heavy to carry alone, just know there's people out here that truly do support you and will help you carry some of that. I don't have answers. I just have my heart. And my heart breaks. Nobody should have to walk through this kind of loss. Nobody. If you need to rage, rage. If you need to scream, if you need to be silent, do whatever you need to do. You take care of you for Sebastian. Whatever you need. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. It's obvious that all he wants to do is find his son. And I just hope that he knows that I know that I pray for Sebastian every day and every night. It doesn't matter if I'm on or not, or talking about him on here or not. I pray that God wraps his arms around you and takes some of this grief away and some of your questions that are too heavy to bear. help you see the light and stop letting there be so much silence and so much darkness. I pray that Sebastian is found and will be home soon. And those times will be made up. Just let the truth be spoken. Whew, please just let the truth be spoken. Let the answers be told because somebody knows. If you do know and you're an outsider, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND, or you can call the FBI. You can call, Sumner County. Call all of them. Use the tip lines. Just know that Sebastian needs to be found. And Seth needs your prayers. Sebastian needs your prayers. And thank you all for being here tonight. Please hit the thumbs up and let's get Sebastian's name and face out there. And don't forget to put those flyers up. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.